Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately, it's not all good news. While the Lions are sitting at 4-1 after an impressive 47-9 victory over the Dallas Cowboys, we need to talk about Aidan Hutchinson's injury. If Aidan hadn't gotten hurt in the second half of that game, it could have been one of the best performances I've ever seen from the Lions. Sadly, he's out for the season. Now, we're hearing some NFL rumors that the Lions are looking to be aggressive in finding a replacement for Aidan. Let's be real, you're not going to find someone who matches Aidan's talent. However, they can at least find someone to help fill that gap. ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano mentioned that the Lions might target Haason Reddick, a pass rusher from the New York Jets who isn't happy with his current situation. This is a tough blow for the Lions, arguably one of the worst situations they could face this season, second only to losing starting quarterback Jared Goff. Aidan Hutchinson has been phenomenal. No other player on the Lions' defense has more than 2.5 sacks this season. In fact, no other edge rusher on the team has even recorded a single sack. I was really excited about players like Marcus Davenport and Levi Onwuzurike. But we need a standout player on defense. It doesn't have to be an edge rusher. Look at the Chiefs and Chris Jones. He's not an edge rusher, but he's a game changer on the defensive line. I believe guys like Carlton Davis and Brian Branch could also make a difference, but they're still developing. Before we get deeper into this, if you're enjoying the video, please hit that like button and subscribe for daily NFL content. Now, back to Aidan. He's currently leading the NFL with 7.5 sacks, even after the Lions' bye week. And today, reports came out that the Lions GM has reached out to the Jets about acquiring Haason Reddick. However, there's a complication. The Jets might need to send a 2026 second-round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles, the team they traded Reddick from in August, if they want to move him back into the NFC. Here's where it gets tricky. According to NFL insider Josina Anderson, the Jets will likely have to give up that second-round pick if they trade Reddick within the same conference. Because of this, CBS Sports suggests the Lions might not want to give up any extra draft picks for a 30-year-old pass rusher who's missed the first part of the season. It's a long shot, but if the Lions get desperate, since they've never reached the Super Bowl, anything could happen. If there's a way to get Haason, I know he's disgruntled. And no team wants a player who's unhappy, but Haason Reddick is an amazing talent. Last season, he recorded 11 sacks and 23 quarterback hits. The year before with Philadelphia, he had 16 sacks and forced 5 fumbles. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. Still, I understand the need to keep team morale high. I do think the Lions will make some kind of move. While I love players like Josh Pascal and James Houston, I'm not sure they're enough. The defense is still pretty young, and without Aidan, there's no clear star to rally around. Players like Terrion Arnold and Brian Branch are getting close, but we might need that standout defensive player to step up. I think Dan Campbell has an interesting situation on his hands. We're seeing some player development, but it's still a bit of a mixed bag. Aidan Hutchinson's injury puts the Lions in a tricky spot, so I don't expect them to make a big move for Haason Reddick. Yesterday, I tweeted that the Lions should reach out to the Raiders about Max Crosby and consider giving up a first-round pick or whatever it takes to land him. However, I really don't think the Las Vegas Raiders will trade Crosby. He's their best player, especially now that Davante Adams is with the New York Jets. If Reddick isn't the answer, then who could be? I have a couple of players in mind. First up is Trey Hendrickson, but I doubt the Cincinnati Bengals are looking to trade him unless you offer something major. Another couple of options are Zadarius Smith, my former favorite from the Packers, and Jadeveon Clowney, who I remember from his time at South Carolina. Zadarius could be a realistic target, since the Cleveland Browns are struggling. He's getting older and has a hefty price tag, but you likely wouldn't need to give up much to get him. When the Browns acquired him, it was for just a couple of fifth-round picks. Last season, he had a down year with only 5.5 sacks, but he still managed 20 quarterback hits. This year, he has 3 sacks and 3 quarterback hits through 6 games, so he could be a solid short-term option. As for Clowney, he's interesting because he's playing for his hometown team, the Panthers, and he's mentioned that he's not used to losing. Carolina is clearly in rebuild mode, so he might be available for a very late round pick, maybe even a 2025 7th rounder. Plus, you could get out of his contract at the end of the year for just $6 million in dead cap. Another name to consider is former Chicago Bear currently with the Seattle Seahawks, Al-Quadin Muhammad. I don't think the answer is within the team right now because Aidan Hutchinson is that good, but bringing in someone like Clowney or Zadarius Smith could help, especially if the younger players on defense can step up and play together as a team. It's a strange time in the NFL where offense seems to be the main focus, but a good defense is still very important. With the trade deadline just 2 weeks away, Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think Detroit should do? Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you in a couple of days. Peace.